You ever feel like someone is watching you, even in a crowd of thousands? Because sometimes it's not just a feeling. Sometimes they're real. This happened during Coachella, a place full of music, lights, and freedom. But for one woman, it turned into something far more disturbing, something that followed her home. The music was loud, the crowd was massive, bodies moving, lights flashing. Everything felt alive. At first, it was perfect, until she noticed him, a man, standing still in the crowd, black shirt, heavy boots, not dancing, not smiling, just watching. At 2:20 into the night, she saw him again. Different stage, different crowd, same man, same stare. Now it didn't feel like coincidence. It felt intentional. She tried to ignore it, told herself she was overthinking, but every time she turned around, he was there, closer each time, watching, waiting. And then, at around 4:07, he approached her. "Hey, you look lost," he said calmly. "I can help you find your friend." His voice was too normal, too calm, like he'd done this before. Her instincts screamed. Something was wrong, very wrong. She stepped back, mumbled something, and disappeared into the crowd. Her heart was racing now. The music didn't feel fun anymore. It felt loud, overwhelming, like it was hiding something or someone. Not long after, her body started reacting badly, the drugs, or maybe the fear. She couldn't tell anymore. Her vision blurred, her chest tightened. Everything felt wrong, so she made a decision. She left. She didn't even say goodbye to the festival. She just ran. Back at the Airbnb, it was quiet. Too quiet. Her friend eventually returned later, exhausted. They laughed it off. The man, just paranoia, a bad trip. Nothing more, right? That night, she woke up, not fully, just enough to feel something was off. And then she saw him, standing in her bedroom doorway. The same man, black shirt, boots, silent, watching. He didn't move. He didn't speak. He just stood there, like he had all night. She couldn't scream. Her body froze. Her mind refused to believe what she was seeing. And then, she blinked, and he was gone. The next morning, she told her friend everything. But her friend just shook her head. "It was the drugs," she said. "You were hallucinating." And honestly, that explanation felt easier to accept, until they saw the hallway. Muddy boot prints, clear, fresh, leading from the front door, all the way to her bedroom. No broken windows, no forced entry, just footprints and a door they were sure they had locked. So ask yourself, in a place where thousands of strangers surround you, how do you know who's really watching? And more importantly, who might follow you home? It started off like a perfect day, warm sun, soft sand, and the endless sound of waves crashing against the shore. Valentina wanted pictures, nothing serious, just something for her socials. So I grabbed my phone and started shooting. At first, everything felt normal. She laughed, posed, twirled in the sunlight, and I kept clicking. But then, something felt off. Not loud, not obvious, just wrong. I didn't notice it right away, not until I stopped to check the photos. That's when I saw him. In the background, far behind Valentina, standing near the edge of the beach, a man in a black hoodie, face unclear, posture stiff, just standing there, watching. I frowned, zoomed in, but the image blurred the more I tried to focus. Probably nothing, I told myself. So I kept taking pictures, different angles, different spots. But later, when I checked again, my stomach dropped. He was still there, in every single photo. No matter where we moved, no matter how far we walked, he was always behind her, closer, each time. I didn't tell Valentina. I didn't want to ruin the mood, but I couldn't shake the feeling that he wasn't just in the background. He was following us. That night, we joined a bonfire, music playing, people laughing, flames crackling into the dark sky. It should have felt safe, but it didn't, because I couldn't stop thinking about him. I kept scanning the crowd, telling myself I was being paranoid, until I saw it, beyond the firelight, past the circle of people, where the darkness swallowed everything whole. He was there, the same black hoodie, standing completely still, not talking, not moving, just staring at us. The firelight flickered, casting shadows across his face, but I still couldn't see his eyes, and somehow, that made it worse. I nudged Valentina. "Do you see that guy?" She looked, paused, then slowly nodded. "Yeah," she whispered. "He's been there for a while." A cold chill ran down my spine, because that meant it wasn't just me. We weren't imagining it. He had been there, watching, the entire time. And then, the fire cracked loudly. For just a second, everyone looked away, and when we looked back, he was gone. No footsteps, no sound, just gone. But the worst part, later that night, when I checked the photos again, the last picture I took was different. There was no distance anymore, no blurred figure in the background. This time, he was right behind her, close enough that you could almost see his face, and I swear, he wasn't looking at Valentina anymore. He was looking straight at me. They thought they booked a quiet getaway, but someone else was already there. It started as a simple trip, a couple escaping the noise of the city, heading out to a remote Airbnb just outside Palm Springs. The house was isolated, no neighbors, no streetlights, just open desert, stretching endlessly into darkness. At first, it felt peaceful, but that feeling didn't last. On the second night, they heard it, a dull, heavy thump, then another. Something was hitting the side of the house. They froze, listened, waited. Silence. They told themselves it was nothing, maybe wind, maybe an animal, but deep down, it didn't feel random. The noises didn't stop. Each night, they came back, closer, louder, and then something worse, a voice, faint, distant, almost carried by the wind. They couldn't make out the words, but they knew one thing for sure. They weren't alone. On the fourth night, everything changed. The motion lights in the backyard started turning on, not all at once. One, then another, like something was moving, step by step, around the house. They watched from the window, too scared to speak. The lights traced a path, circling them. Whoever it was, they were watching the house. That's when the boyfriend decided. He had to check. He grabbed a knife from the kitchen, told her to lock the door behind him, and stepped outside. The desert air was cold, too quiet. Then he saw them. Footprints, clear, fresh, leading away from the house, straight to a small storage shed in the backyard. He approached slowly, each step heavier than the last. The shed door was closed, but something felt wrong. He raised his hand and knocked. Silence. Then a voice from inside, calm, too calm. "Hey, can you open the door?" He froze. The voice continued, soft, almost friendly. Then suddenly, a low, chilling laugh. Not loud, not aggressive, just wrong. He ran back to the house, locked the door. They didn't hesitate this time. They called the police. When the police arrived, they searched the shed first. Nothing. Empty. No sign anyone had been inside. No footprints leading away. It was like whoever was there had vanished. But then, they searched the house, and that's when they found it. A dirty, worn-out hat. Inside, on the floor, the couple stared at it, in silence, because they knew that hat didn't belong to them, which meant only one thing. While they were sleeping, while they thought they were safe, someone was already inside, and maybe they never really left.